Hello, Star Bear Cubs. Welcome to the next personal and spiritual growth reading. For any other information about this reading and the decks I use, please check the information box below. If this resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe, and also hit the bell for notifications for any other videos that I upload. So this is whatever Spirit wants you to know right now regarding your personal and spiritual growth. And this particular reading that I'm going to do will be exploring wounds that you need to release, illusions that you carry, that you need to discard in order to make your way towards your destiny. Just as simple as that, you know? So let's get started with the overall energies. I'm using Earth Magic by Stephen Farmer. Alright, the overall themes are ocean, ebb and flow, which is the idea that everything has an ebb and flow. The tide comes in, the tide goes out. The pendulum swings one way, the pendulum swings the other way. For every yin there is a yang. When I think ebb and flow, I think of the infinity symbol. There is a cycle, a pattern of things. And this card particularly is inviting you to feel your emotions, but not to cling to your emotions. Allow them to flow through you. Just like I talk about the chakras and how our spine is like a river. We have to allow the emotions to flow freely through the river of our spine without any obstacles in the way. Your bodily energy needs to flow freely like the water in the ocean. And we also have release. The autumnal equinox. Well, that's very timely considering it's fall, my favorite season. This card is pretty self-explanatory. It's the idea of letting go what you don't need. Huh, we were just talking about that. So feel your emotions and then allow them to flow through you and release them. This also means releasing anything in your life that does not serve you right now. We're going to dive a little bit more deeply into the ocean. Sorry about the glare there. Doesn't seem to want to go away. The first card I will draw is an old wound to heal and let go of. An old wound to heal and let go of. Now I realize this is touching on sensitive subjects. So remember, this may not be your story. Only if it resonates, if you feel intuitively that it speaks to you. Otherwise, it's not your story and you can just release it. Leave it for someone else. So we got fire for an old wound to heal and let go of. We'll come back to that in a moment. Now we have an old illusion or story that you need to let go of. An old illusion or story that you need to let go of. You got the child, but reversed. The next card is the wisdom you need to acquire after releasing cards 1 and 2. The wisdom you need to acquire is stand still. And last is your possible destiny. Having released your old wounds and illusions and gaining the wisdom you need. Interesting. I got completion, but it was reversed. Let's dive a little bit more deeply. So fire. Fire is Phoenix rising from the ashes, transformation, passion. From the book it says, fire consumes anything that it touches. The flames remind us of the impermanent nature of reality and how situations can quickly transform into beauty or chaos. Fire is passion, and its dancing flames invite us to reach to the sky. Warmth and light are heavenly, yet too much heat can scorch us. To fully step into the energy of fire is to be utterly transformed like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Fire can also imply anger, having anger issues, being too fiery, too quick to anger, having a temper. This is in the position of an old wound. So this wound could have something to do with someone who was angry. Perhaps they said something hurtful to you out of anger. The medicine messages. Are you feeling too fiery? Have you been reactive and short-tempered toward others? This card has come to tell you that all fiery emotions directed at others can backfire at you. It is not a good idea to play with fire when you are out of balance or angry. Now is not the time to act or react. It is time to tame and befriend your inner fire so it does not scorch you. Did you hurt someone else with your fiery words, angry accusations? Did you jump to conclusions? Did your temper get the better of you? Or was it someone else who said something hurtful to you out of anger? Remember, fire is very strong, burns hot, can cause damage to the skin, to anything that it touches. But just know that water can extinguish fire. Water represents emotions, love. There is no fire of anger that cannot be extinguished by love. So whatever it was that caused this wound, whatever scorched you, hurt you, maybe a parent was short-tempered with you when you were a child, and in turn you have become short-tempered with others. Maybe you are clinging to your frustrations and not letting them flow out again. Maybe you aren't normally someone who's short-tempered, but lately you've just been feeling that way. Like it doesn't take much to set you off. A lot of little mosquito bites getting at you. Sometimes it's not the big obvious challenges and obstacles that weigh you down, but rather they're the teeny tiny little pokes and prods and pinpricks of daily life. There's something, usually being short-tempered is a sign that you have not released something. There's something clinging to you that you don't need and it's weighing you down. It's Spirit's way of telling you to let something go. I would encourage you to explore the ways in which you're triggered. Explore the patterns in your life. If there's things that are repeatedly difficult for you, or if there's a recurring criticism you hear, or a comment that people make that triggers you every time, explore that. Ask yourself why. Why does that trigger you? What are the recurring themes and what are they trying to teach you? Try to pinpoint what those triggers are and why, and then release them. And then for an old illusion or story to let go of, we have the child, which is generally means seeing life through a child's eyes, being childlike and innocent. The child knows the way to joy and happiness. The child offers the return of a second innocence, a time born of wisdom and not of naivete. This card allows you to correct your course and offers you a second chance. It brings you the possibility of redemption and entering heaven while on earth. Now it was in reverse. I will read the medicine message. The child comes to show you how you can correct the course of your life without being punished. Set yourself free from your conditioning for suffering. You were born unfettered and happy, and can be so again if you make the choice right now. The child will help you climb out of the hole you may have dug yourself into to recover your sense of play. Okay, yeah. I think you've been burned a lot in your life. Anything you've done, I feel two storylines here. One is that anytime you've done something with a sense of childlike innocence and a fresh slate, you've been burned. That's one storyline. Another storyline is that you were burned as a child. You were greatly, deeply wounded by someone. Perhaps a parent figure, sibling, friend. You were deeply hurt as a child and you've carried that wound with you now. regardless of what storyline is yours. The message here is to release that wound that burns you, that created a deep scar. And let go of the illusion that to be childlike is to be naive. Let go of the illusion that to be vulnerable is bad. Let go of the illusion that you will be punished, that the universe will punish you, that others will punish you, that others will hurt you and burn you the way this person did in the past. Let go of the illusion that you are not innocent. For in the eyes of spirit, you are. Maybe you wounded someone else in the past, and you carry that guilt with you. But regardless of what it was, you need to reclaim your childlike innocence. Now, of course, hopefully amends were made, things were set to right. If it was you that hurt another, then do what you need to do to set things right. But if it was harm that was done to you, do the grief work that you need to do, the healing work, and then release. Release. And allow yourself to be childlike again. Allow yourself to see yourself the way the Creator does. The next card for the wisdom you need to acquire after releasing all of this is standstill, which is to take a break and to rest. When standstill appears, it is a symbol of pausing, the act of observation and breathing space. It represents the benefits of temporary non-action as well as what happens when one is stuck. And yes, I think this is a response to being stuck in some way. This reading will resonate for any of you who might be feeling stuck and not allowing the ebb and flow of emotions and feelings. The invitation is, when things seem to stall or stagnate, or when you feel stuck, this symbol appears as a reminder that constant action isn't going to get you where you want to go. Perhaps it's time to gather more information or just wait until the universe makes the next move. No matter what, this moment is a beautiful gift orchestrated in your favor. Enjoy it. Let the universe bring all the parts together for the highest good. Go and play. Recharge and take the focus off whatever has stalled. Life will get busy again for you sooner than you think. Of course, because of the global pandemic, much of the world is on pause at the moment. So I take from this you are being invited to use this time. Maybe you were laid off work. Maybe things have slowed down in some way because of the pandemic. So use the time you have, and if your life hasn't naturally come to a place of pause, then to try to make that time in your regular day. And I noticed this card was encouraging you to play, have fun during this time, which is also the energy of the child. You need to release the illusion that being childlike will burn you in some way, that being innocent and trusting, unless of course you're in a situation where trust is not earned. But during this standstill, just trust in the ebb and flow and the cycles of life. As you can see, there's the different phases of the moon behind the child. When you're a child, you don't really pay much attention to time. You go outside and you play and you get distracted by all the little adventures and fantasies going on in your mind. It isn't until your mom or dad or someone calls you into supper that you're made aware of time. Don't let your concept of time hinder your progress here. You have some important healing to do. Use the wisdom gained in taking a pause. Do some yoga or meditate. Rest. Take lots of naps. I don't know about you, but I've been feeling very tired these days. So I just put some clarifiers, and for fire we got 7 of Swords, which can imply that some unfairness, some sneakiness, somebody doing something wrong behind your back. We talked about being burned in some way. As this card depicts, this man is sneaking off with 5 swords that might not belong to him. And he's in somewhat of a rush, and he's doesn't even have time to grab them all. He leaves a couple behind. So perhaps somebody took something from you. Maybe something was actually literally stolen from you. Or an idea was stolen from you. Maybe your innocence was stolen from you. What I get from this card in the context of this reading is that something was stolen from you. And that is the wound that you've carried with you now and made it hard for you to trust. As we also got 3 of Swords, which is heartbreak, separation, pain, betrayal. Someone took something significant from you, which broke your heart and burned you. Or you can reverse the roles. Perhaps this is something that you did to someone. Regardless, it's a wound that you've carried with you to now, which could be causing you to be short-tempered. And you need to release it. We also got 4 of Swords, which is the recuperation after the 3 of Swords, taking a rest. As you can see, this person is resting under the 3 swords. They're healing, recuperating. And what needs to be healed is your belief that innocence, vulnerability, is a bad thing or a negative thing. Something that happened as a child has created a harmful belief system, an illusion that you need to recover from. It's an illusion that needs to die and be transformed into something new, something better, something stronger. And interestingly, the Death card is described by some as the Phoenix Rising card. The idea that the phoenix burns up, becomes ash, and then is reborn. So take the wound, take the burn, take the wound that burned you, the fire that put a scar in your heart, and let it transform you into a new baby phoenix rising from the ashes with a new healed understanding of what it means to be a child, a new healed understanding of your own childhood. And once you've healed your inner child, pay attention to the gift that the inner child gives you, the lesson that you have to learn, and carry that gift with you, slowly but surely, even in the next phase, as you experience a standstill, a pause. Carry that gift, that dream, that lesson, that wisdom with you, and ponder it. Really let it sit. Interestingly, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the deck. This horse isn't even moving. He has plants growing on him. That's how slow he moves. But he is moving slowly but surely, with very determined movements. So guard this piece of wisdom carefully that you've gained, and use this standstill time to plant this wisdom, this lesson that you learned, and see what you can learn from it. planted in your heart. And your possible destiny is completion, the end of a cycle, reaping the harvest. It's interesting, we just talked about planting the seeds of wisdom in your heart, and now your destiny is to reap that wisdom, but it is in reverse. So the medicine message is clinging to the old form will bring only decay. When fruit is left too long on the vine, it rots. You know that it is time to move on, yet are reluctant. Do not be afraid of hurting anyone's feelings. Remember that you are responsible for your actions, not the actions of others. Mourn what is lost so you can move on. Do not be sad. Be like the sun at midday who shines brightly, neither longing for sunrise nor dreading the dusk. I want to read the invitation message as well. You have finished a cycle. There's no more growth or benefit from hanging on to the old. In regard to relationships, it's time to honor what has been and find a new form for the future, which is that transformation we talked about. In your ventures, it is time to reap your harvest. Completion is a time for celebration. It is the end of summer when the fruit is ripe. I'm going to quickly close with a starseed message for you. Breath of the cosmos. My will to thy will. Micromanaging the universe. This is a card of just resting and relaxing and trusting that all that's meant to be will be. We the Hathors. Deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. So it's about being reborn, to metaphorically and spiritually be reborn, and using your rebirth as a portal or doorway into your new life. Regardless of how slow it feels to you, it is a magical and wonderful, purposeful path for you to follow the ebb and flow of the cosmos and release what does not serve you. Love and light to you. Subscribe and also hit the bell for notifications about, and also hit the bell if you'd like more notifications. Blah. And there is, everything is, no. So you need to release the energy, sorry. So you need to release, hi, I'm just recording.
Can I have a gummy, like one of those gummy packs?
No, you had some for lunch already.
No, actually I didn't have my gummies for my lunch.
Then go eat them now.
Okay.